Imagine waking up one morning to find your social security record marked as deceased. Well, that actually happened to some Americans in April 2025 as part of a whirlwind of new policies under Trump's second term. In the first 100 days, the Trump administration and the newly created Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, well, they've unveiled dozens of changes, from paying long delayed benefits to cutting Social Security staffing, all of which is aimed at protecting taxpayer dollars and rooting out fraud. So in this video, we'll break down what's confirmed, what's proposed, and what it means for retirees. And do me a favor, let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. So to recap, here are the major actions already taken. Well, the SSA rushed out $14.8 billion in retroactive benefits to 2.2 million public sector workers whose checks were cut by the windfall elimination and government pension offset. By early April, roughly 3.2 million beneficiaries saw their April checks increase under this law. Acting Social Security Admin Commissioner Lee Dudek praised this speedy work. He said, "The agency's original estimate of taking a year or more now will only apply to complex cases that the automation cannot process." Next comes the overpayment recovery. So beginning March 27th, the SSA returned to 100% clawbacks on any overpaid benefits. Now remember, in 2024, it had softened this to 10% monthly due to hardship, but the full recovery rules saves an estimated $7 billion over 10 years. Then Trump instigated no more paper checks. So an executive order of March the 25th mandates phasing out paper Social Security checks by September the 30th. About 500,000 citizens still get paper checks, so after September, they must switch to direct deposit or risk missing payments altogether. Also, on April the 14th, new and existing beneficiaries cannot change their bank deposit or apply for benefits by phone. Instead, they must either use a secure My Social Security online account or visit an office to prove their identity. Now, this was done to combat fraud. The SSA also introduced new AI-based fraud detection for phone claims, so that all claim types are allowed by telephone, but suspicious cases are flagged and pushed to in-person verifications. Next up comes the anti-fraud measures. The SSA beefed up telephone claim processing with analytics that spot anomalies and require in-person ID checks if something looks amiss. At the same time, they're rolling out the Treasury's new Account Verification Service, or AVS, to instantly confirm direct deposit bank accounts, preventing many fraud attempts on payment changes. Now, as a huge plus, and I mean huge, the HEART system, and that's short for hearing, recording, and transcription, a new AI-based software for disability hearings, was deployed nationwide by mid-March. HEART replaces clunky old recording hardware with an AI transcription service. This improves accuracy and saves about $5 million a year. Next, another upgrade. So SSA migrated over 350 field offices to a modern telephone system with AI-enabled call routing. Early results show a 30% improvement in answer rates and roughly 30% of calls handled by automated menu. The SSA also launched a digital Social Security number feature on My Social Security account. Now, this lets seniors view and use their social security number securely from a phone or a computer instead of carrying a card. Meanwhile, the agency is also phasing out its old login. So by late 2025, everyone must use a login.gov account for SSA Online. National Social Security Month, which was an annual April outreach campaign, was reinstated for the first time since 2019. And SSA also began publishing weekly updates on service performance, and they launched a YouTube series on agency operations. The official line is that these changes align with Trump's promise that government must serve the people. And at the same time, the Trump administration reshaped who runs the agency and how it's overseen. So in January 2025, Trump signed an executive order creating the DOGE, also known as the Department of Government Efficiency, and that was launched then. Elon Musk, yes, that Elon Musk, was appointed as a special government employee to advise DOGE. Now, according to Harvard's Kennedy School, Trump gave Musk unprecedented latitude with DOGE, including broad access to agency data. Internally, the SSA has cut its staffing target to about 50,000 employees. And by the way, that's down from 57,000. And they identified roughly $800 million in savings for 2025. Notably, SSA walked back an earlier plan to completely eliminate all telephone service. Instead, it agreed only to bar deposit changes by phone while keeping other phone support as long as new fraud checks were in place. Trump also tapped Wall Street executive Frank Bisignano as SSA's next commissioner. Bisignano told the Senate he has not thought about privatizing Social Security and that per Trump's promise, Social Security benefits would not be cut under this administration. In fact, the White House issued a fact sheet in March explicitly stating that the Trump administration will not cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid benefits, framing the reforms purely as anti-fraud and cost-saving measures. Now, many traditional Social Security processes are also being modernized. For example, SSA introduced an official digital SSN for My Social Security users, and that allows seniors to access their Social Security number on a secure device rather than relying on the old paper card. Now, in the contact centers and field offices, new technology has been deployed, and it's about time too. A nationwide telecom upgrade with artificial intelligence is handling routine calls, which frees up staff. SSA is also phasing out outdating systems, most notably by launching the AI-driven heart software for hearings. This provides more accurate transcripts for in-person, phone, and video hearings, and it cuts down on delays caused by equipment failures. Finally, to speed things up, all direct deposit changes, either in person or online, well, they're now processed in one business day, down from a really bad 30-day hold. So in summary, the agency says it's building the customer-focused organization by beefing up IT, fraud detection, and in-office verification, while cutting bureaucracies. Now, these changes have hit staffing and service delivery pretty hard. SSA reports it has already processed about 3,000 voluntary early retirements and separations, and at the same time, reassigned 2,000 support staff into frontline. Teleworking was instantly ended. So now all Social Security employees must now work in person 5 days a week. And the result is the lowest staffing level at SSA in over 25 years. Meanwhile, field offices are being consolidated. So as of spring 2025, roughly 47 field offices nationwide have either closed or merged. Now, in response to a national outcry, SSA has clarified very clearly it has not permanently closed any remaining offices yet, but advocates' closures of underused sites are underway. Now, these workforce cuts mean longer waits for many beneficiaries, and advocates warn that requiring in person visits and reducing staff, well, that'll just make it harder for seniors and disabled Americans to get help. One retiree told NPR she spent 3 hours and 15 minutes on hold before reaching a Social Security agent for just one question. So, in the short term, SSA points to faster call handling, 30% more calls answered, and SSA.gov and new transparency metrics as positives. But many seniors report confusion. A major flashpoint has been data access. Now, the new DOGE team, backed by Musk, saw unprecedented entry into SSA's sensitive databases. In March 2025, Social Security workers discovered that DOGE operatives had accessed millions of Americans' records, including bank accounts, info, earnings, and immigration status, all without proper authority. And in response, union and retirees sued to block DOGE's move. Now, a federal judge issued an injunction on April 17th, stopping any DOGE access to SSA data and ordered that all unlawfully obtained records be immediately deleted. And that, by the way, is a first of its kind court action. Now, the ACLU also sued SSA and the VA for failing to release information about DOGE's attempted or actual access to these particular systems. The complaints warn that unauthorized use of Social Security data could result in identity theft or digital disappearance of individuals. Another controversy is the crackdown on immigration benefits. In April, news outlets reported that thousands of Social Security numbers for legally present immigrants were flagged as dead to deny benefits and encourage self-deportation. Maryland's senior senator, Ben Cardin, called this an unlawful digital murder scheme. And press accounts quoted former SSA deputy Martin O'Malley noting that it risked anyone's data. Now, the SSA's official statement on Trump's April memo praised efforts to stop illegal aliens from getting Social Security, but Democrats say the execution has violated due process. So, in summary, privacy watchdogs are alarmed. One legal brief says DOGE's actions violate multiple federal privacy laws and put retirees at serious risk of financial fraud. Now, all of these changes are unfolding against the backdrop of a looming Social Security funding shortfall. The trust fund is still projected to run out by the early 2030s without new revenue. And Trump has repeatedly promised not to cut benefits, but his team has floated other ideas. During the joint congressional address, Trump called for no taxes on Social Security benefits, meaning seniors would keep 100% of their checks. Now, this plan would start this year if passed, but as of today, it remains only a pledge. The president also discussed eliminating payroll taxes on earnings for benefits, effectively defunding Social Security's current financing, which analysts say could bankrupt the system unless offset by other taxes. More radically, some GOP and Project 2025 advisors have suggested allowing optional personal accounts or raising the payroll tax cap. But again, no legislation on these fronts has moved yet. So, in short, Washington is talking about shifting how Social Security is funded, but concrete policy is limited so far. The good news, at least for now, is that beneficiaries face no cuts and they may even get larger raises if inflation stays down, as Trump hopes. But the program's long-term finances, well, they remain in question. So the reaction, of course, has been intense. Advocates, senior groups, and even some Republicans have warned that these reforms will make benefits harder to access. As one PBS NewsHour report put it, millions will no longer be able to verify their identity over the phone, creating a challenge for older Americans and those with disabilities. NPR further noted plans to close offices and cut 7,000 jobs could leave the most vulnerable stranded. Now, even with the Trump coalition, there are tensions. Some ex-officials and lawmakers have sought to rein in DOGE's data grabs. On social media, the White House has fiercely defended the changes as anti-fraud measures, while critics point out that $72 billion of Social Security payout had already been lost to fraud or deceased people in recent years, and they say better services is needed instead of the sweeping cuts. So in short, these moves have become highly political. Rallies and op-eds warn seniors, check your benefits now, while officials maintain they're simply making the system leaner and more secure. So what should seniors and future retirees do? Well, if you or your family is affected, here's our advice. 1. Get an online account. If you haven't already signed up for one with My Social Security account, please do so immediately. That way you can monitor your earnings record, check your benefits estimate, and see your SSN digitally. The administration is encouraging, and in some cases requiring, online verification for many services. Also, remember to verify your information. Make sure the SSA has your current mailing address and bank information. If you receive paper checks, switch to direct deposit before the 30th of September. Now, if your name or your marital status changed, please notify SSA so your records aren't flagged. And if you're ever incorrectly marked dead or lose benefits suddenly, contact your local Social Security office right away with an ID. Now, the SSA will correct erroneously reported deaths if you can prove your identity. Now, for new benefits or sensitive changes like retirement claims or deposit changes, plan to either use the secure online portal or schedule a real office appointment. Beneficiaries unable to navigate the website must now prove ID in person. So consider asking a family member or an advocate to assist with paperwork or accompany you. And now for the good news at last. SSA has beefed up in-office staffing. As I said, workers are back to 5 days a week to handle this. So also check your payments. Now, if you qualify for retroactive WEP GPO payments, look for a larger check. Also, keep track of your COLA and tax withholdings. Any future tax relief, like a cut on benefits, will first be visible on your annual 1040. And stay informed. Follow SSA's official channels. And by the way, they post updates on X or Twitter and their website. And watch for news from AARP and other advocacy groups. Now, if you see troubling press reports, verify them first with SSA's Communication Corner. The bottom line is this: change is coming fast. In just 100 days, the new administration has altered how Social Security does business, promising to save money and fight fraud, but also forcing seniors to adapt. Your key takeaways: watch out for official notices about retiring or deposit changes, sign up for online services today, and please don't panic if the rules are confusing at first. We'll keep tracking this story and break down each new development as it happens. So, did you find this video helpful? Comment below with your questions or experiences, and please hit that subscribe button so you won't miss future updates on Social Security and retirement. Stay tuned, stay informed, and stay safe. Have a great day.